Namaste, greetings, blessings. Always nice to be together here. There's our purpose with this, and it's to bring ourselves into the present. By being in the presence, we are able to appreciate joy, happiness, peace, and appreciate life itself, and not be lost in the past, running to the future, but just being present to ourselves, our true selves, present for our loved ones, our beloveds, and indeed present to life itself, the beauty of life itself. Without having a mindful approach to ourselves, our lives, your presence, being aware, we miss life. In our being together over the past months, we've discussed the role of conscious breathing, what that can do for us. We've approached it from a Hindu Indian perspective, although many cultures for thousands of years have used the breath, breathing, to help themselves become more still and reach their own personal beliefs or opportunities to expand their consciousness. In a little bit, we're going to get into the Buddhist perspective on breathing in honor of what we have been recently discussing. Our senior minister, Jean-Marie, has been discussing the book Siddhartha. Siddhartha is Buddha, but it's a short little book, and I surely do encourage you to read that, and especially Chapter 11, which was a good one. We discussed that last week. Quickly, let me suggest that if you missed any of those, that I encourage you to listen again to the conversation about Buddhism and Buddha. You know, just think for a moment how many millions of people practice Buddhism and realize there's deep value there. I mean, it's, of course, but it's easy for us to be here in our Western world and not be as appreciative of some of the alternative things or vehicles to allow ourselves to be in the moment. And they all are really having the same objective. I mean, that is to allow us to be within, to come to know our true selves, and to be present. It's simply being present, being mindful, being aware. And you know, mindful doesn't only refer to being still in meditation. You can be mindful and should and do, whether you're washing the dishes, sweeping, taking a walk, whatever. There are opportunities to let yourself be in the moment. Let us be in the moment. And those are the reasons that we've been practicing conscious breathing, or pranayama in the Sanskrit description of it all, and different pranayams or breathing techniques that we have practiced through the months. So we're going to move those aside and talk about the Buddhist perspective and how they view breath and the importance of it. So let's begin by checking our posture. You know from our past time spent that it is very, very important to set yourself up and be well grounded in the space. Find that space where you're comfortable, your temple within your home, or it could be a favorite place outside. In the early morning these days with this heat, we all know, but your spot is your temple. Find that comfortable place and have it as a go-to place for you to be. It will help you move to a space of more openness and receptivity and be more present. It's good. So let's remember, and we'll go through it very quickly, and not every day will we be doing this or every time we practice, but again, let's take a moment and realize what's important in terms of how we sit to begin to become present. Essentially, it's best if you're able to sit in a cross-legged position. You don't have to be in a full lotus position or get your ankles on top of your knees as you've seen in pictures. It's not easy, and it requires a long time before most people get loose enough to do that. But you can cross your legs, sit up on a cushion, a good hard cushion, and you can cross your legs. Now, elevate your hips. Elevate your hips. It came way up. Elevate your hips to a comfortable level where your knees are below your hips. This allows you to have a straight back, effortlessly have a straight back. So visualize you're sitting up straight, your legs are crossed, your hands are on your knees, palms up, your neck is slid slightly back, and your eyes can be closed. I prefer that most of the time for meditation. Eyes can be closed and focused at the brow point. That is the line right above your eyes, your brow, close to what is often called our third eye. Focusing slightly up. The gaze with eyes should be there at the brow point. Open your eyes for a moment. So that's essentially where we should be or try to do, especially for all breathing techniques. And certainly what we're doing is that. And for any meditation, it's a helpful thing. Now, if you have compromises physically and you're not able to do that, you may sit on a chair. It can have a cushion, but it should be a harder chair, not a squishy one, a soft one. Slide out to the edge of that chair, and it should be the height where your knees can be at a 90-degree angle to the floor. So you will be like this with your feet firmly grounded. You're at the edge of the chair, your feet are firmly grounded, your hands are on your knees again, your chin is pulled back, and positioned to begin to breathe fully and completely. And you know this is where we begin, by understanding the importance of having long, slow, deep breaths. In our Hindu-oriented practice and others, we specifically do certain techniques and continue to do them and then achieve the benefits of those rather quickly. And we do different techniques to achieve different objectives, intentions on our behalf. For Buddhism, the breath becomes so deeply integral to the part of the mindful process. And we're going to begin to do that in just a moment. And we will strictly be sticking with that, or remaining with the Buddhist perspective on breath work. So let's get yourself in a good, well-grounded position. You might rotate your pelvic girdle a little bit. This is always good depending on, it doesn't matter if you're on your chair or with your legs crossed, but rotate a little bit. Get that feeling of solidness, of well-groundedness. Now, mindfulness leads to peace and joy. Without presence, without being purely present, we can't be at peace. We are subject to the stimuli around us. We're involved with our own emotions and thoughts. We are speaking so generally and broadly about the objectives of meditation now. And there are so many different modalities for that, for transcendental meditation, this Buddhist approach with emphasis on the breath. There's the approach that we've taken to do a little breathing technique specifically designed to allow us to get to a space more easily and quickly. That's been the point of our conversation, to be able to use certain techniques to arrive at a place of stillness. For the Buddhist perspective, it's, you might say, I wouldn't say more direct, but it's more of a process. So we're going to follow this approach. I'm going to ring a chime. That chime is a chime of awareness for you to be aware that we're moving toward breathing, the awareness of our breath, and toward that desirable space of stillness. So, take a breath quickly. Close your eyes. Take a long, slow, deep breath before we begin. Belly out when you take these deep breaths. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more long, slow, deep breath. Belly out. Inhale. Suspend the breath for a moment. Exhale. When you hear this chime, it is a reminder to breathe in the context that we will be doing in the Buddhist perspective, from the Buddhist perspective. I will chime the bell periodically, designed to bring us back, remind us to be present and listen and be our breath. So let's begin. You may close your eyes. The first and very important lesson of the Buddha in breathing is the in-out breath. It's exactly what it sounds like. You breathe in and breathe out. And be aware of your breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Know that you're breathing in. Know that you're breathing out. As you continue, identify the in-breath. Identify with the in-breath. Identify with the out-breath. Continue. Be aware of your breathing. Begin by listening to your breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. We're not concentrating on extension of the abdomen, the yogic or abdominal breath. We are simply breathing in, out. In, out. Nothing else. The mind and the body began to come close together and began to merge as one. We are aware of our oneness of the body. We are moving beyond what sometimes is the normal place that we reside, a separation of the mind and body. In, out. We're moving to the oneness, the oneness of ourselves. The mind and body is one. We are gradually finding space, silent space. Just be aware, in, out, nothing more. It's good that your eyes are closed and focused at the brow point. It's good that you're minding your posture. Maintain the posture as best you can. This allows us to stop thinking. Stop chasing the past, running toward the future. We are just present. This was the first teaching of breathing by the Buddha. It's hugely important. It's fundamental. You feel yourself coming as one, the unification of a mind and body. Our intention is to share with you these techniques with the understanding that you will be doing this on your own, in your own time and space, without any commentary, just silence. Our intention is to review approaches that will serve you as you move toward peace, silence, and the ability to understand the joy of life. The kingdom of God is here with us, all around us. Think of the trees. When you see the tree, it's home to the birds. The birds are at home. When you see the tree, you see the sun. The tree would not be in existence without the sun. When you see the tree, see the tree. See the tree now with me. When you see the tree, you see the clouds. Without the clouds, we would not have rain. Without the rain, we would not have the tree. The earth, the source of such nourishment, strength, and grounding. Without a solid grounding, there would be no tree. The tree itself is God-like. It is a reflection of God. It is a reflection of all of that. Allow yourself to be aware. Use that as a metaphor and understand that all things are quite rich and beautifully, beautifully complex in a glorious system. It is heaven on earth. We are within the kingdom as we live. It is important to be present and mindful. If you are not present and mindful, you miss these things. You miss the meaning of life. In, out, nothing more. You're coming closer to your true self, to the fact that we are all essential parts of a large and beautiful and wonderful system, the kingdom that within which we live, within which we can be present. These are our choices. Be forgetful, the opposite of mindfulness. Forgetfulness. You're not focused on anything except miscellaneous this and that. You miss life. Be present. If you're with your beloved, how often have you felt that your beloved is not present with you? They're present in body, but their mind is somewhere else. They're not available to you. So the richness of life and our relationships in every aspect of our lives is dependent upon being mindful, more mindful and present. Our presence. In, out. In, out. Allow yourself to flow. Nothing to do or think about. Keep your eyes focused at the brow point if possible. Closed. The chime of mindfulness. Remember to breathe. Continue breathing. With practice, you will be able to develop your concentration, your effortless concentration by just breathing, by just practicing in, out. Know you're breathing in. Know you're breathing out. Identify that in-breath. Breathe in, know it. And breathe out. Allowing yourself to become one, your body, mind becoming one, and you're becoming present, more mindful. I invite you to consider when you are living and being, become observant, become mindful, just generally speaking. Allow yourself to become more aware. Developing the practice that we're doing now, by developing, I mean doing it regularly. Do it every day for 40 days. Do this every day for 40 days. For the time that you can, allow yourself enough time to go within. It's more than 5 minutes. Doesn't have to be 30 minutes. You do whatever is comfortable for you and allow yourself to go. There's no judgment. Do not judge yourself. Don't be too quick to be thinking about some sort of inadequacies, or maybe I'm not doing this. It's easy. It's simple. In, out. Breathe in. Breathe out. We'll observe a couple of minutes of silence. Continue. In, out. In, out. Gently open your eyes. Today we recognize and give thanks to the Buddha, Siddhartha, in recognition of these kinds of approaches and what it can mean for us. It's deeply important to open ourselves and be receptive to what's possible. In the future, we'll be discussing a couple of other exercises, Buddhist type approaches, including flower fresh and mountain. I know you'll enjoy these, and I know you'll find them facilitating and rich. Helping us all to really appreciate the beauty of life and those around us in nature. It's all, we are all together. We are all one. Nice, very nice to be with you. Love you. Love you all. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. See you next Wednesday.